Let's talk about it right now. We are AT&T. I'm Courtney with Cowboys Nation.
What is up? We are live in the Cowboys cave. We got there's too much stuff going on, Jimmy. There's too much stuff going on, and I've been kicking a few things in the back of my mind about these Cowboys, and I'm getting tired of this media and all these other people just disrespecting us because we're America's team and won't sell out. So what we need to do is get to the other level of the game and do it like a Geo. Now, any OGs back in hip hop know what I'm talking about, know what I'm referencing. But for real, you guys, before we get started, make sure you like, subscribe, follow. We're getting this train started, and it was a busy week. Say what?
Spotify.
Man, see, I made my notes. Thank God I got my boy Jimmy D to help me out. But big week, Jimmy. Big week in the NFL.
Yes.
You called me up and said, hey, we can't wait till Tuesday. We're going to be on the road. We don't know what kind of show we're going to be able to drop. So we got to get the hot topics going now.
Absolutely. And so where do we start? I mean, there's a lot of quarterback movement.
Well, I think what we're going to do is we're going to start with my team, the Cowboys, because the Falcons, they haven't done nothing. So they've been laying low.
We'll get to the Falcons in a hot minute, right? Yep.
But we'll get on to the NFL. But let's talk about the Cowboys. I know Jimmy's been doing his homework. Like I told you, it's just a matter of time before he's sucked in to become part of Cowboys Nation, and he's going to be one of us. He'll be sitting with me at AT&T. We'll be throwing some Cowboy readabacks and hanging out, and we'll make him a Cowboys fan. So let's talk about, first of all, the franchise tag. There's a lot of controversy. And with Cowboys Nation, the offseason always creates drama. So everyone hates every move. So there's been a lot of things going on in the last couple of days. So we'll start with Dalton Schultz getting franchise tag. You're talking about their second leading pass receiver,
yes.
Their tight end. He's 26 years old. It's a 1 year. If they sign him longer, it'd be great. But for 1 year, $10.9 million. If you look at the averages, he's paid as a ninth, tied for eighth, ninth. Highest paid tight end in the league. I think that's about where he's at. You got to see him firsthand when we slapped you guys around in AT&T. Do you think that's a good move? He's a security blanket for Dak. Do you think a comfort level is important and worth that franchise tag just to keep him on board another season?
Yeah, and keep in mind, I'm from the outside looking in, right? So, first of all, I mean, what did he have? 800 yards receiving last year? Am I right about that? And maybe 500-600 the year before. Good pass blocker when you need him.
No,
I think
we'll correct you there because you haven't seen him much. Pass blocking, that's what people hate. That's
really?
What people don't like. He's not he don't hold up as a blocker. Really? He doesn't do well in the run game. He's not. His blocking ability is something to be desired.
I said pass blocking. I didn't say run.
No, he's not a good blocker at all.
Really? Okay. I thought he was a good. I thought he was a good pass blocker.
Maybe against the Falcons he was, but you guys, you got no defense against the upper echelons. He got knocked around a little bit, but you got Kyle Pitts. I mean, you know the way these tight ends are. It's not the days that we remember where you had the big tight ends that were dominant on the line of scrimmage, that were run blocking, that were their pass protection. These are athletic players, right?
With good hands.
Yes.
Right? No, I think it was a smart move. Like you said, he's young. What do you say? He's 25, 26, younger
26
guy.
26 years old.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's a smart move. And look, again, from the outside looking in, I see everybody. I see a lot of negativity on Cowboys Nation on social media, and I don't understand it. I mean, there's again, we're going to get to this on a later show. There's been so much drama, and even more drama the last couple of days. I think it's the right move.
Yeah. I just think with you don't know what they're going to do with Coop. So let's say they're moving on from Coop. It sounds like you got to keep some continuity. Like I said, he's Dak's safe. He's a security blanket for him. He's made
Yeah.
good catches. He's made big catches. He moves the chains. I just think for the money and the cap hit, and if they want to draft a tight end, go ahead and draft one. See what you got. But if you're gonna let Coop go and then you're gonna let Schultz walk, I mean that's a lot of production that you're getting off the table. And again, continuity with Dak and getting guys into the unknown. We know what we got with Schultz. We know he's going to make catches. We know he's going to move the chains. His pass, his blocking from the pass and the run, it's something he's got to work on. I don't think he'll ever be great at it, but I think in this day and age of the tight end, I don't think that's a requirement. They can draft a bigger guy if they want to get, for run blocking and run 2 tight end sets and things like that.
Yeah.
So we'll see how it goes.
Right, you get a bigger guy for different schemes. Like you said, you got a Kyle Pitts on the Falcons. I'm worried about him catching for 1,100 yards. That's all I care about.
Yeah, it's an offensive. It's an offensive league. So the other one, which it's an interesting one, is Tank Lawrence, and I touched on it a little bit. When we had a brief show, and the Cowboys wanted him to take asked him to take a pay cut. He declined. I mean, I think personally, my opinion, he has a right to do that. He signed a contract. It's no different than when these fans want the players to honor their contract. It works both ways. When the players want the owners to honor their contract, and it's the owner's choice. If he doesn't want it, you can cut him, and you're going to have to deal with the cap hit. So I may be off a little bit, but everything I looked at from the numbers is if they cut him, basically it's a net $11 million. So, what I would ask, you, and I would ask the fans, and I'd ask the followers, I'd ask everyone is, who are you going to get for $11 million that is going to put in the effort and put in the work that Tank does?
Right. It's effort, but again, it's an injury situation, right?
Yeah.
He's missed a lot of time. He's missed a lot of time due to injury, but I agree with you. I mean, from again the outside looking in, I mean, he busts his ass. He makes plays when he's healthy.
Yeah, and the injury situation last year, he broke his foot. I mean, he broke his foot in the first game, and he was out most of the year. But when he came back, he had an impact. The year before, he didn't miss any time, but he was playing with nagging injuries and played through it. Really, since I'm probably going to be wrong, but let's just say around 2016, 2017. I mean, he's played almost every game pretty much. So last year, broken foot is not, I mean, that's kind of a freak thing. It happened in practice, didn't even happen in the game. So I hate these guys. And again, they label them injury plague, but that was a freak thing. He's played through it. But if they want to move on and they think that they can find value in using that $11 million, it's a business. And it's what I always said, and I'll take a line from De Niro, in Heat. One of my favorite movies is you never attach yourself to anyone that you can't walk away from in 30 seconds flat if you feel the heat around the corner. And that's the way I feel. I'm a fan of the team. The players, unfortunately, it's a business, and they're going to do what's best for them. Owners are going to do what they feel is best for the team. And I'm a Cowboys fan, so I'm always going to just support the Cowboys at the end of the day.
Well, okay, so you take, for instance, us. We talked about Ridley a couple of days ago. So he's out for the season, obviously. We actually went from being 11 million over to 4 million under, right? So that being said, where are you going to find a receiver of his caliber for 13 million a year? Just like Tank Lawrence. Where are you going to find caliber player him for 11 million a year? And that's the problem.
Yeah. And that's where it's easy for the fans. I know everything's knee jerk and everything, especially with Cowboys. Everything has always risen to the top level. So, we talked about Coop. It looks like, Coop, they're going to try and trade him. And I know some people are saying, well, why would you just cut him? You got to trade him. Of course they're going to try and trade him, but you got to have a partner. Yeah. You got to have someone who's willing to give up something. And the problem, if there's a mistake with the Cowboys made, is that they might have shown their cards too early, because now a team is just, go ahead, we'll wait for you, wait till you cut them, and we'll take our shots there.
Well, so what else with the Cowboys? So we got Coop, and that's going to be lingering for a while.
Yeah, I think that'll come to an end. I think that one's probably going to be the first ball to drop, just based off the The salary cap impact. Tank is probably going to have to be a post, June cut, I think, because I think it benefits them a little bit more. It looks like they're gonna sign. They're working on a deal for Gallup. So your receiving core now is you're gonna have CDs. That's your dog, and you're gonna have Gallup, who's coming off an injury. So is he going to be ready in end of October, November? They're going to have some issues there at receiver for the first part of the season. They're going to let Cedric Wilson test free agency, see what he does. They're working on a deal with, hopefully a long-term deal with Gregory. I like Gregory, but again, you got a little bit unknown. He had a great start to the year. Then he got a calf injury, kind of, he wasn't as dominant. And in the playoffs, he made a couple mental mistakes, that caused some crucial penalties and things like that. So, you're going to get rid of Tank, and you're going to, put all your eggs in Gregory's basket. He's got the upside. There's no doubt about it. But, if things go wrong, it could really, really impact the defense if that's the way they're going to go.
And again, it gets to the unknown. You know what you got, right, versus what you don't have. And it's a roll of the dice. Like you said, it's the unfortunate business of football, business of sports. You don't know what you're going to get.
And rosters change, right? I mean, it's constant. Yeah. They're 25%, 30% roster changeover, every season. It's just a lot of this stuff with the Cowboys are getting the headlines. I mean, today it just dropped that they're talking about trading, Lyle Collins. They're getting, trying to, see what kind of interest there is. And again, I love Cowboys Nation. I'm a Cowboys fan through and through, but it just amazes me. They dogged this guy last year. Dogged him. He got suspended. Came in, wasn't, or this year, was it this year he got suspended? My years might be all messed up, but he was hurt. And then he got suspended. This year he got suspended. Last year he was hurt. He didn't come in prepared, and he missed almost the whole year. This year he gets suspended, misses 5 games. And then, Steele really outplayed him at right tackle. They put him back in, when the offense was rolling with Steele, and then when they got Lyle back at right tackle, the offense sputtered a little bit. I don't think it's one guy, so I'm not going to say it's all on him. No. But Steele has shown he's been capable of holding down that right tackle. And if he doesn't, you don't know if Collins wants to go to guard, or maybe the Cowboys internally are looking at it and saying, maybe it's best to move on. I'm not I like Collins. His cap number is pretty friendly for a guy his caliber, but he has had 2, I would say, semi-disappointing years where the fans have turned on him, and now all of a sudden that they want to trade him, you think the world's ending, and now they're bashing the Cowboys again for even thinking of trading Lyle Collins.
Well, and again, I know it's a show we're going to be doing in the near future, so I don't want to talk too much, being on the outside looking in, but I tell you, man, it's amazing the amount of drama that I see on social media with the Cowboys. Whether it's, the latest thing, which is kind of comical, is the Maury Povich situation with Jerry Jones. Yeah, I saw that. I thought it was a joke at first. And then I said, holy crap, this is real. But I mean, besides the paternity test, there's just so much. The fans, I don't know, maybe because the Falcons are so much more, low key, and we don't have that pedestal, if you will. You just don't see the same crap. All you hear is people talking crap about Matt Ryan. You hear that. You've been hearing that every year, and that's just what we deal with. But I mean, every move the Cowboys make is under a microscope with the Cowboys fans.
Yeah, and the Jerry Jones thing, and I'm going to have you put your lawyer hat on because I'm just trying to understand it. So the woman's 25, I think 25 or 26 years old. Said that he's the father. In reading and what I've read, there might be some truth to it. It seems that there was a payoff. It seems that there was a trust that was given to her over a couple of years. If it was quiet, what are you suing for? That's why maybe I'm missing it. Could you sue? What are you suing for?
Well, I mean, that's the thing. Well, first of all, he must have been up in the penthouse with the girls partying all night long. And
I don't know if he was in the penthouse. He might have been the Cowboys. Remember the White House they used to have with Irvin and all those guys across from Valley Ranch? He might have been hanging out with the boys there or something, man. I don't know. Or it could have been that picture. You ever see that picture of him with
Yes.
the two. Maybe it was one of them.
No, but the thing is that, on a serious note, you're right. If he set up a trust and she was getting paid, what's the problem? I mean, he was, and being all serious, he was fulfilling his duties as a parent.
Yeah.
He set up a trust. There was, the money was there. The child support. So I don't get it. I don't understand why this is even an issue right now.
Yeah.
Unless there's something behind the scenes we don't know about.
Yeah, I don't know. It was pretty interesting. But again, it's what the Cowboys do, and if there's something as a fan that drives me nuts is it's never quiet. I'd love. Sometimes I'm jealous of you, Jimmy, with them Falcons, except for the lack of success they've had in their tenure. In their tenure, the lack of success that they've had. You guys, you remain quiet, and I wish the Cowboys would do that too sometimes.
Yeah. No, I mean, well, let's not forget, since the last time you guys were in the Super Bowl, we've been there twice.
Yes. And
all
what
right?
have you done? Bottom line is what I tell all these guys, and I'm not getting hype on you, but when we go, we win. We don't lose. We don't blow leads. We we win. We win.
You win, but the last time you won, Jerry Jones' illegitimate daughter wasn't even born yet. What are you talking about?
Maybe she's the problem. Maybe she's the reason. Maybe she's the jinx. Maybe we finally figured it out.
She's your Eddie Mush.
But no, seriously, it's just, and this leads me to where you can join in on the conversation. So we've got the balance of powers have seemed to shift. So the NFC to AFC, with all these changes, it seems like the balance of power is shifting to the AFC. So, first of all, you break down all the changes. Obviously Brady's gone from the Bucs. Now you got Russell Wilson going over to the AFC West. Now you just get a drop that Khalil Mack is going to be traded up to the Chargers. So that's another guy gone. So. Yeah. I want to break it down, just quickly, because again, we're going to get more depth to it as it goes. But NFC, when you see it, if you're a fan of the Cowboys, you could say fan of the Falcons, any team, who scares you? Who really scares you in the NFC that you're worried about? I can maybe name 2 or 3 teams that would be the upper echelon, but I think you could flip a coin or roll the dice, and whatever number you land on, they can end up in the Super Bowl, right?
Well, you're right. And right now, there isn't anybody who scares me. There's teams that are concerns,
but
nobody that's scary. No, you're right. I mean, obviously the Cowboys, despite all the drama, they're going to be strong. And, our division's awful. So you don't know who's going to come out of there. And whoever's the hot team coming out in the playoffs, you never know what's going to happen. But I don't think that Aaron Rodgers staying in Green Bay is a big thing. It's like you and I said. He's a great quarterback, but he's not a big game player.
No,
right?
And he's getting a big time contract, so you don't know what they're going to be able to keep around him.
Right. So what happens to Devontae Adams, right?
Well, they already tagged him, so he's
stuck. Oh, they tagged him. Okay.
They tagged him, so if he may hold out. I don't know how happy he is to be tagged. He'll either take it or I know he's trying to get $30 million a year, and I think the tag was about 18 or 19, so they're far off in their negotiation.
Well, and I thought he was a surefire bet to go to Denver.
Yeah, either that or I know Jacksonville's got a lot of money, but it's a crazy thing. I was listening to one show and they were talking about the salary cap and how many AFC teams are under the cap, and when you look at the NFC, almost all the NFC teams are above or just below the cap. There's not a lot of room for when this free agency starts. And that's where I think you see the Cowboys, you see these teams are making these moves because they're trying to free up money to, maybe Dallas they're eyeing Bobby Wagner. He just got cut from Seattle. He's got some ties with Quinn. You never know. You got Fowler. You got some of these guys that, you don't know what they're doing. So that's why I always try and tell Cowboys fans, and just be patient. Let everything play out. Don't get caught up in the media hype. Don't get caught up in we got Antonio Brown's coming to Dallas now. Any guy who gets cut or any guy that's in a free agent is going to Dallas, man. All you got to do is surf Twitter, and every single one of them is going to Dallas, right?
Yes. Well, just think about a week and a half ago was Ridley for Cooper,
Yeah.
right? I mean, that was the big thing, and now what happened? But I mean, well, let's talk a little bit about your division. What about Carson Wentz? I mean,
Yeah.
first of all,
You
go
know,
ahead.
so I used to love when he was with Philly, and we used to whoop up on him every game. Now he's coming back to the division so we could slap him around a little bit more. So Wentz coming back, the way I look at it is he had Frank Wright, handpicked him. That was his guy in Philly when he had his best year. He brings him up to the Indianapolis, and he dumps him after 1 year. If you're a team, what does that tell you?
Right. Well, I mean, think about it. They lost to Jacksonville in the game they needed to win to make the playoffs. So what is that telling you?
And I think they got embarrassed in Jacksonville. I don't even think it was a competitive game. Yeah.
And then, first of all, then he goes to Washington with that stupid name, the Commanders. I mean, first of all, that to me is funny in and of itself, but is that really a big step up for Washington? I mean, he had some good years in Philly, right? But not great years.
Yeah.
He had years in Philly. And then he imploded the last month in Indianapolis. And like you said, now he's gone up to Washington. So I don't know, man. I don't think that, again, that's not a big upgrade in my opinion.
No, I don't. That's why I think we're still, if you look at it, if you went to last season, they had talked about it. The best quarterbacks in the division won the division. So I still think Dak Prescott's the best quarterback in the division. I mean, you can go to the NFC South, and I don't know how you can make an argument that it'd be anyone than Matt Ryan unless unless the Bucs make some huge move to get somebody. But I don't know what else really at quarterback is out there. You can get Watson, but yeah, I don't think obviously he'll go there. But you got Garoppolo. You don't know what San Francisco's going to do. So the NFC it's going to be. It's going to be interesting. So the doom and gloom, I try and tell the Cowboy, don't be doom and gloom yet. Let the stuff play out. And just like, if I was a Falcons fan or any other fan in the NFC, I'd be like, hey, we draft well. We pick up some key free agents. We can get right in the mix real fast.
Well, and you see, here, now that's our thing. So Terry Fontenot, our GM, he comes out cryptically the other day and says something to the effect of, we're going to do what's best for our team. We know we have 4 guys that are really hitting the cap hard. That's what he said. Very cryptic. And then he, proceeded to say we're going to look at the draft and all that stuff. So think about it. We got Matt Ryan, $48 million against the cap. Grady Jarrett, $24 million. Jake Matthews, $22, and Deion Jones, $20. So we have those are our big 4 that he's talking about. So who are you making the move with? We have a horrible offensive line. So what are you going to get rid of Matthews? No. Grady Jarrett, I don't know. He's got 1 year left on his contract, but he's strong. I don't know what they're going to do. So we're kind of, now that we're $4 million under because of the Ridley situation, but where are we going being $4 million under unless people restructure? Matt Ryan's not restructuring again.
No,
so,
you can't keep moving that money.
No, you're not, because like you said, you're going to have to pay the piper one day, right? So buy us on credit each year. So again, I don't know where we're going. We need to get Patterson, like I said, and Russell Gage is a free agent, so I don't know what's going to happen with him either.
Yeah, it's gonna get wild, and then like I said, with the draft, it's gonna be even more interesting to see what happens. You saw what Denver, they paid a big price to get Russell Wilson. Hey, if they get a Super Bowl, it's well worth it. It's well worth it. But I tell you what. That division is nasty, man. I mean, you just get Mac over there at the Chargers, and you look at those 4 quarterbacks. I mean, whew, and that's 6 tough games each team's going to have to play. There's no gimmies. There's no gimmies in that division.
No, there's not. But okay, so who's Denver's leading receiver?
Well, you're gonna have Sutton, and then you've got the kid from Alabama.
Okay, so we don't know. basically.
I mean, they're young.
So,
They're young.
yeah.
Judy,
Yeah.
that's Judy. They got Judy, the kid from. I mean, if he catches, he drops a lot of balls, but he can stretch the field. And he's getting into his own. He's in his third year, so.
And being a smart aleck and asking that question, here's why. So you had Bridgewater. Prior to that, you had Keenum. Who was before Keenum in Denver?
God, I don't know anyone after Manning.
Right.
Bunch of cast-offs.
Locke, maybe, I don't know, but anyway, right, a bunch of cast-offs. But if you look at the numbers, the Broncos versus Seahawks, sacks allowed, roughly the same last year. So unless Denver steps up with their offensive line, I mean, Russell Wilson's obviously more mobile than Teddy Bridgewater is, but where are you going? You don't have a star receiver. You don't have a standout receiver.
Well, and yeah, but their money's made on defense, and rumor is that Von Miller is going to be returning. So yeah, they've got a powerful defense. They're going to be a player. I mean, we always said last season, they're a quarterback away. They thought it was going to be Rodgers, but I think Rodgers, he looked at them quarterbacks that he's going to be going up against, and them teams. He said, maybe I'll stick around in Green Bay a couple more seasons. I'll go against Detroit, Chicago, and Minnesota a couple more times.
Well, that $50 million didn't hurt either.
No, and I think he would have got paid with one of those other teams. I think at Denver, they're desperate. I mean, they know that they're a quarterback away, but it'll be interesting to see how these trades work out. It's they were saying it was kind of like the biggest trade since the old Herschel Walker days. So we saw how that worked out for the Cowboys. I don't know if it'll work out the same for Seattle, but and they dump Wagner, so they're in a total rebuild. So again, going back to the NFC, I don't know if there's teams that scare me. Like I said, you could take probably 4 of them and put them in a blender, and whichever one survives, any one of them can be in the Super Bowl. So, but those are some of the hot topics. That's kind of what I was thinking about. I don't know, Jimmy, you got anything on your mind?
No, I mean, well, outside of football, the Major League Baseball and the Players Association finally came to an agreement. The multimillionaires and billionaires finally, figured something out, and I guess they're going to be starting maybe about 2 weeks late. Yeah, is what it sounds like. So, any thoughts on that?
Are they keeping the schedule? Because are they going to play 162? Or are they shortening it?
I thought they shortened it by 1 or 2 series, if I understand.
So they're not losing many games. There was a couple things in the rules. I glanced through it. I didn't really study it fast, but the one part regarding shifts, they're going to ban shifts, which. I mean, you're messing with the game. So it's what I was telling my brother. So where does the line stop for a shortstop?
Where do you stop? Is there an imaginary line? I mean, that you're right. And again, if a team wants to risk that, that's silly. Again, you put the shift on. Guys got to figure out how to hit opposite field.
Hit the other way, right? I mean, if that was they wouldn't do no shift on Tony Gwynn.
Right, exactly. And then again, one of the biggest guys they shift Joey Gallo on the Yankees. On all the time they're shifting on him. But it is what it is, and you play. You play to win the game, right?
Yeah.
So it's no different than in hockey. You pull the goaltender when you're down. You do what you got to do to win, right? Yeah. So I don't get that. The one thing I do like is the shot clock, if you will, on the pitchers and speeding things up a little bit, because like we said. Baseball, I love the Yankees. I think you see some of my stuff behind me, some Yankee stuff. I watch the Yankees. I'll go to 5-6 games a year. But the problem is it's slow when you're watching on TV. And usually it's, I'm dozing off for 3-4 innings, in and out of sleep, because it gets long. So I think speeding things up is good, especially for kids. This younger generation, they want things now, right?
Short attention span.
Yep, short attention span. So I like that one, but the shift is crazy. I don't understand that.
No, and the other thing I know it's about money, but I'm an NL guy. I always grew up liking the Mets, and I think the DH takes a little bit out of the strategy of the game, but I guess the NL they're gonna move to having a DH. So.
Yeah,
I guess it makes sense. I mean, it makes sense for the players. It extends careers. the pitchers are usually easy outs and all that, but I think it does take away from some of the strategy of the game, but it gives you more offense.
No, right. It takes away the strategy, but it's offense. Just like all these leagues tailor their rules to make, offense with, higher offensive output. Football, I don't care. We talked with Rob Martin the other day. The game has changed a lot, and I think it's player safety, but I think a lot of it is just get them scores higher. They don't want to see a 10-3 game or a 14-6 game like when the Falcons beat the Raiders during Rob Martin's final season. They don't want to see that, right? They don't want to see that. They want to see 28-21, 35-20. That's what they're looking for, and I get it. Just like baseball, they don't want 1-0. They want 6-5, and any sport's the same way. So I get it. However, it's tough call.
Yeah. No, I mean, I get it. So it's fine. But I guess then they're going to improve the salaries and all of that kind of, hoopla. So they worked it out. Whatever was done, I'm still trying to figure out why it took all this time to figure it out, because it doesn't really. It seems like it was pretty simple, and there wasn't really a whole lot to it. I don't know what side won or how much how much better it is, but we'll get into that. But it's good to get baseball back. It's good to get. I like sports, it's this quiet time. You got basketball, you got hockey. It's good to get some other stuff going. We got March Madness coming up. So maybe we might have to get a special appearance when that bracket sheet comes out and get it. Maybe get a prediction from Papa Tag to see what his Final Four prediction is for our gamblers out there that want to make a little coin on the side. You want to get it from the expert. He's going to give you the picks.
You're getting free advice from Tag Nation. Don't forget that. From the best handicapper in the business to the call right down the middle, and you're going to be happy you listen to him.
And we do want to put a disclaimer that it's all for entertainment purposes only.
Now,
but anyway.
Side note,
what was that?
On a side note, I've been bitching about the Knicks every week. We won 3 in a row.
Oh, look
just in time to lose our draft pick, right? Our draft lottery anyway, our odds in the draft lottery. But hey, it's good to see us, blowing a few teams out. Barrett's killing it the last few games. So I'm happy about that. When we just signed on, the Rangers were losing, but we won 2 out of 3. So I'm happy there.
Hey, life is good for you. You got some stuff planned maybe next week. So we may not be able to get a full show in, but we'll figure something out. We'll get you on one way or the other, right?
Yeah, I'll be there.
Okay.
Look, we make a commitment to our public. We make a commitment to our fans. We're going to be there for you.
And that's what it's all about. So I don't have anything else to say. You got anything else? Or you think we said it all?
No, I think we said it all and done it all.
That's what I was waiting for. So, hey, you guys, make sure you like, make sure you subscribe. Because I told you, if you're watching to the end, when we hit that 1,000 subscriber, I've got a very special all-pro signed 11x14. I'll let you guys figure it out. But there's a little inscription on there that might say DPOY. So you guys figure it out.
Hey, I got the inside scoop on that one. So hit me up on Twitter, and I might give a little secret, little peek behind the curtain, if you will.
Absolutely. Make sure you follow my man, Jimmy. Until next week, we will see you, Cowboys Nation. Mike Tag always love you. Can you feel me? Can you dig it?